Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards just held a news conference to warn his residents to be ready for Hurricane Delta. Delta is the 10th hurricane or tropical storm to zero in on the Gulf Coast this season. The eye of the Category 2 hurricane is still a few hours offshore. It will likely make landfall in the same part of southwestern Louisiana just hit by Hurricane Laura. It is the sixth major storm to hit that area recently, something the Gulf Coast has never seen before in one season. Joining me now is Distinguished Professor of Atmospheric Science at Penn State University, Michael Mann. He's the author of the new book, The New Climate War. Michael, always good to see you. I think a lot of people will remember a couple nights ago on the debate stage, Vice President Mike Pence saying or claiming that NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, said that there were no more storms now than there used to be. Can you put that into, reality for us, into science for us?
Yeah, thanks, Kate. It's good to be with you. Although I have to say it is starting to feel a bit like the film Groundhog Day, just one of these monster storms after the next bearing down on the Gulf Coast. It's an unprecedented season that we're watching play out. And so there is indeed some irony that the vice president the other day essentially denied that climate change is having an impact. And he did so, first of all, by deflecting away from the real question. Are we seeing more dangerous, destructive, more intense landfalling storms? And we are. And the science on that is very clear. As we warm up the oceans, and we have bathtub warm waters right now in the Gulf, in part because of global warming, the long-term warming of the planet. The more of that heat there is, the more intense these hurricanes can become. The larger those winds, the larger that storm surge, which is a major threat for the coastline with this storm and with some of the other storms that have made landfall. So he essentially deflected attention from the real question: are we seeing, more powerful, destructive storms? And instead said something about, 100 years, we had more storms. Well, that's not true either. There is a long-term record of the number of storms per year, and there's a clear increase over time. As you go back 100 years, the data become quite uncertain anyways. And so the real truth here is that the number of storms is also increasing. And this is only the second year in history where we have entered into the Greek alphabet. We've had so many storms that we've exhausted the alphabet and we're onto Greek letters. So there is a clear increase in the number of these storms. We know that's caused by climate change, but we also know that the intensity of these storms is growing because of climate change. That's the real issue. And the flooding. You have warmer oceans, more moisture in the atmosphere, so you get more flooding rains. You get this compound flooding where you've got the storm surge because of those strong winds. It collides with the coast. At the same time, you have all of this inland flooding from the heavy rainfall, and you see the sorts of disasters that the Gulf Coast continues to see play out this season.
Michael, we've been losing the battle against climate change for some time now. This administration has rolled back a lot of regulations when it comes to fighting climate change. They've taken us out of the Paris Climate Accord, which will go into effect if Donald Trump wins another term. What are the regulations that have been rolled back, and what do they do in our fight against man-made climate change?
Yeah, this administration has done everything it can to dismantle the progress that we have made as a country when it comes to climate change. They, of course, have challenged the Clean Power Plan that the Obama administration put in place to limit carbon emissions from coal-fired power plants. They have eliminated many of the methane emission restrictions. They've attacked fuel efficiency standard increases under the previous administration. Everything they can do essentially to deregulate the fossil fuel industry and allow record levels of pollution to warm the planet. The good news: in less than a month, we can change our course. We can take a new direction. We can elect politicians who will act on this problem, and it's not too late. But we do have to make progress now.
But it also has to be a commitment from administration to administration. We're finding that very difficult in our country. Michael Mann, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. We always appreciate your expertise.